Hess News Radio, WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
All right, 8:03 this morning on Richmond's Morning News. James River Air text line open for you. Oh, some people are salty this morning. I'll just put it to you that way. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Coming up on the program, we will talk with Tom Garrett, member of the House of Delegates, former member of the House of Representatives in D.C. We'll ask him. And I got a lot to say again about these taxes, that we're going to see an increase. Basically, every municipality that's going to be able to raise taxes will raise taxes at some point because the General Assembly decided that we're just going to allow municipalities to go straight to the ballot box to try to raise taxes instead of walking through the General Assembly, which is, I think, their duty. I'll find out more. I got some questions. We're going to ask Tom Garrett about that coming up here in about a half hour from now. You don't want to miss that. All right. Also, let me remind everybody, we are raising money for Tunnel to Towers. It is a tremendous organization. They do so many great things. It was founded, inspired by Frank Stiller's brother, who lost his life on September 11th. He was a fireman, ran into harm's way and died on 9/11. And to honor him, they started the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. And it's really grown into this amazing organization out of tragedy. Primarily, they're known for paying off the mortgages of first responders killed in the line of duty and servicemen and women killed in the line of duty. And I actually personally know someone whose son passed away, and they immediately stepped in and paid off their mortgage. They have started a fund where they're providing education to fallen heroes' children, and now they're building housing for veterans that are homeless. I mean, it's a great organization. I'm proud to be associated with them. We're having a golf tournament September 22nd. We're just about sold out of T-Box sponsors, but I still can take a couple more if you want to step up as an individual and make a donation. I'd love to have you out there. If your business would like to participate and sponsor it and help us raise money for Tunnel to Towers, great. And if you're a golfer, please come out and play in our golf tournament. It is September 22nd, Hunting Hawk Golf Club in I'd love to see you out there. Love to see you out there. If you want more information how we're going to raise money for this wonderful cause, go to WRVA.com/golf, WRVA.com/golf to find out more, to sign up. And like I said, a lot of great people have stepped up, including my friends at Veteran Fire Protection. In fact, I asked them to stop by the station around 9 o'clock just so I could personally thank them for being our title sponsor to help us raise money for this great cause. And I hope and I pray they never, ever, ever have to help a family in our location right here in Central Virginia. But if they do, we'll pay it forward. I hope it never comes to that. I hope no one ever has to feel that in our listening audience. But we're going to pay it forward because they do such tremendous work honoring the men and women in those families that will suffer forever. But this eases their burden just a tiny bit. If it just eases their burden just a tiny bit, it's well worth the money that we're going to raise. So again, September 22nd, Hunting Hawk Golf Club. Find out more. Go to WRVA.com/golf, WRVA.com. It's going to be a great time. I'll be out there doing the show, WRVA.com/golf. And it's all brought to you by our friends at Veterans Fire Protection. They've been tremendous for stepping up, being our title sponsor. I can't thank them enough for being there for us as we raise money for this wonderful project. Also want to thank everybody at Better Floors and Greer Financial Group as well for stepping up, helping us with this. It's been awesome watching the community support this. I'm hoping to make this an annual event. So again, go to WRVA.com/golf. All right, let's get you Richmond's Morning News Brief. Here's everything you need to know this morning as we get running this morning here in Richmond, Virginia. All right, here we go. Number one story. Richmond City Council says, yay, unanimously, let's put a ballot measure out there and we'll raise our taxes. All right, big story last night. Richmond City Council approves a plan to raise the sales tax in the city of Richmond by 1%, ostensibly to help the shortfall of Richmond public schools. A couple questions I want to ask before we say yes to this. Number one, why is RPS, why is their forecast so off from what the state gave them versus what they projected their revenues were to be? Did you just kind of put your budget together thinking that, well, this is what I assume we're going to get? When you assume, what that happens. But I really want to know how your forecast was so off. I think you need to answer that question before anything else. Before anything else, I'd like to know why the forecast was off so much. And if the forecast was off just for this 1 year, then why are you asking us to raise our taxes for, I think it's 30 years, if I'm not mistaken? 1%, $45 million, which you say will be used only for this, but isn't it all fungible as well? So now I have $45 million. You know what it reminds me of? You know what? We're never going to have to pay for schools again when we have the lottery, because all that lottery money will take care of our... Oh, that didn't work out either, did it? See how this works? But again, it goes back to the governor took too long to get the budget done. And RPS, for whatever reason, decided they were going to get their budget done before they knew what the governor was going to give them. And now we have a shortfall. And you, especially 45% of you that don't live in the city of Richmond, you're going to be asked to pay that shortfall by paying 1% more in sales tax. We're going to talk about that with Tom Garrett coming up here at the bottom of the hour. That's story number one. Story number two, I applaud Marco Rubio. He went to the Philippines last week, along with Judge Janine Pirro, who's now a U.S. prosecutor in D.C., and they are going after scammers that just out of that section of the world, $10 billion to scam for Americans as they push back. That's our second big story. All right, I know that happened a week ago, but I did want to bring it up. I'm just interested. Tell me this morning on the James River Air text line, 833-804-1140, how many of you get scam calls and what do they try to scam you out of? I applaud this. I think they should do more of this and push back harder against the individuals, the cartels that do this, and the countries that allow that to happen. How many of these countries do we give foreign aid to and then their citizens are scamming Americans? Doesn't seem right, does it? All right, story number three, Lindsey Graham's funeral today in D.C. begins as the nation mourns a beloved senator from South Carolina. Skip the Colbert. I'm going to change the story. All right, story number four is Zohran Mamdani yesterday unveiled his $50 or $70 million. I don't know how much he's going to spend. Grocery stores that he promises are going to give New Yorkers tax break. That's our fourth story of the day. Okay, I got a lot of people, the James River text line, getting mad. You Republicans are accusing the Democrats of being communist. You don't know what you're talking about. All righty, how about if I give you this one? Zohran Mamdani yesterday in New York decided that he was going to have a press conference talking about how great these city-owned grocery stores are going to be. $50 million to stand up the first one. By the way, do you get that money back, or did I just give that money to help subsidize this grocery store? So if I'm in private business and I invest $50 million, I get that $50 million back. Do the taxpayers get that $50 million back out of this? Nobody says so. But I thought this was very interesting. He said, we're going to set the prices 30% below what retailers charge for groceries. And we're going to have that, and we're going to set that for the whole month. And then next month, we will look and we will plan our prices at 30%. That's central planning. That's part of the collective. That's part of communism. That's why the free market says, hey, if I've got too many tomatoes, I lower the prices to get rid of them. If I've got too few tomatoes, I raise the prices, and we have supply and demand. That's the principle of the free market. One of the principles of communism is central planning, where somebody decides, here's what we're going to pay for this, here's what it's going to cost, and here's what you're going to pay, and I'm not really sure about the supply. So let's see if that really happens. Dave? They said that it would be easier to buy everybody in New York a Costco card and probably more efficient than what they're going to do. So if he sets the prices at 30% below, what happens if everybody runs into those grocery stores, buys up all the tomatoes at 30%, which you pay at Publix or whatever grocery stores they have up there, and then I run out of tomatoes? What do you do? Central planning doesn't work. Central planning never works. Anyway, those are your stories this morning on Richmond's Morning News that we've been following. Okay, I do want to get to this whole tax thing because a lot of people are upset that I'm bringing this up. Basically, the way tax increases worked for sales tax was forever you had to go before the General Assembly and ask permission to raise your sales taxes, and that was the way that it had been. Well, this governor, this General Assembly said, no, you can just go to your local municipality and raise them yourself and put it before the voters. For a governor that ran on, I'm going to lower the price and make life more affordable, we now are going to see some tax raising around the Commonwealth. We'll kind of try to square that up with Tom Garrett, member of the House of Delegates, coming up after the bottom of the hour. Today's program brought to you by our friends at A+.